everyone, welcome to A Fistful of Dice. I'm Matt, and today we're going to be talking about creating NPCs easily and quickly for use with Pathfinder, D&D 3, and D&D 3.5. This video is actually a suggestion that was made to me by StarWriter34. He sent me a message basically saying he's having a lot of trouble making PCs like townsfolk and people that the player party would be interacting with on a normal basis. So we're going to talk about a really easy way that I use to create NPCs, and different ways that you are able to create NPCs. Now, I've already talked about how awesome Paizo's Game Mastery Guide is, but if you're looking for great templates for NPCs that are fully rolled out, the Game Mastery Guide has a whole section with very diverse and versatile NPCs of all different types that you can use and modify at your leisure. Now, obviously, these are fully rolled up characters, so they have a lot of information, a lot of stats and abilities, which is great for NPCs that are going to be seeing combat or are going to be very involved with the party. But what happens when you have an NPC that is a storekeeper, or a town elder, or a mentor for the players? Somebody that's not going to be seeing a lot of combat or going to be traveling with the party, but somebody that the party is going to be interacting with on a regular basis. Well, that's what I'm going to show you how to do today really easily and quickly. Alright guys, so this is sort of the template that I've come up with that provides a really easy way to come up with NPCs. I'm just going to kind of come up with an NPC on the fly here and walk you through the process of using this template. So you'll see that at the top here we've got all kinds of sort of physical characteristics and mannerisms, things like that. Things that set this character apart in a non-stat way. And then down here we just have a small sampling of stats, enough to get him through any interactions with the party. So I'm going to roll up here kind of a... Let's do like a mercenary guy who acts as an informant and a contact for the party. So we'll come back to the name and the aliases later, but we'll make him a human male. Profession, we'll say sellsword. Distinguishing features. So here's where we get to come up with stuff that's going to set this guy apart. We're going to say that he only has one hand. His left hand is missing at the wrist, which makes him very memorable and also gives us something to work with here. Mannerisms. He's gruff and distant, but friendly enough to those with coin and those willing to buy him a drink. Languages. We'll say he speaks common. Equipment. Let's see, he's a mercenary, so he's probably going to be wearing armor. So we'll give him a chain shirt, a well-worn long sword, and a dagger in his boot. Connections. So this is like other NPCs that he's connected with. We'll say that he is good friends with local barkeep. Maybe they go back. Maybe they served in the military together. See? Already I'm coming up with ideas. Secret. Now this is something that I like to do with my NPCs. A secret is a piece of information about this NPC that the PCs don't know. Now, is it important to the quest? It might be, it might not be, but it's something that you have for this NPC that makes them interesting. Something that if the PCs really wanted to go digging on this person, they could potentially find out. So we're going to say he lost his hand as a child after being caught stealing from a fruit vendor. So that makes him pretty interesting. Role. So we're going to say he's a information source and quest giver. This is kind of like what what is he to the PCs mechanically? What purpose does he serve? And we'll say, you know, mentor. Maybe he kind of helps him out a little bit. Abilities. So with this, you can roll them if you wish. For me, I'm just going to kind of give him abilities that make sense. So he's a sellsword, he's a swordsman, so he's going to be pretty strong, but not too beefy. I'm thinking he's a little bit dexterous of a fighter, so I'm going to give him a 15 dex. Constitution, he's fairly hardy. I'm going to give him that. Intelligence, you know, he's smart, but he's not smarter than your average guy. I'm not going to bump this up too much. Wisdom, you know, he's got a good head on his shoulders. Giving him a +1 there. And with charisma, he's a little gruff and he doesn't bathe regularly. I'm giving him an 8 here. Oops, there we go. Now, these stats are going to affect what we do over here. So, level-wise, the level is, you know, don't think of it as PC levels. The way I like to think of it is like level 1 to 3 is sort of like common folk. You know, a level 1 would be like your basic peasant. A level 3 would maybe be like a member of the militia. And then from there, you know, they get more and more proficient and skilled. When you start getting over level 10, you're getting into leaders, generals, high-ranking mages, military leaders, things like that. And then, you know, once you're getting into level 19 and 20, you're getting godlike. These are legendary people. So this guy, you know, he's good with a sword. He's been fighting for a long time, but he's not particularly legendary in his skill. So I'm going to go ahead and just put him at level 6, which is going to give him a good set of skills, make him a little bit formidable to the party, but otherwise, you know, he's not godlike in his abilities. So the way that we're going to calculate his saves here is his ability mod plus level. So reflex, his reflex is 2, and his level is 6. So his reflex save is 8. Fortitude, constitution is 1, level is 6. So his fortitude is 7. Will, his wisdom is at +1, and his level is 6. So we're going to put him at level 7. See, pretty simple. And, you know, obviously saves are calculated differently because they're based on your class, but because this is an NPC that just serves as a point of interaction for the party, we really don't need to get too into the nitty-gritty with this. And then skills. Instead of going through and buying ranks and all skills with his levels, what we're going to do is we're going to pick 5 skills that he's good at. So let's give him some acrobatics. And then we'll calculate these in a little bit. Acrobatics, diplomacy. We'll give him, let's see, intimidate, appraise, and knowledge. Well, let's not give him a knowledge. NPCs don't really need knowledge skills. We'll give him, let's see, acrobatics, diplomacy, intimidate, appraise. What else could this guy have? We'll give him escape artist. All right, now here's where we figure this stuff out. It's ability mod plus his level plus 3 because he's trained in it. So his ability mod for Dex, which is, you know, what acrobatics is based on, is +2. So we give him 2 plus his level, which is 6, so that's 8, plus 3, which is 11. So he has an acrobatic skill of 11. Diplomacy, which is based on charisma, is a -1. Plus 6 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So his diplomacy is 8, which means his intimidate is also going to be 8. Appraise, which is based on intelligence, I believe, is a 0, plus 6, plus 3. So his appraise skill is a 9. And his escape artist, which is also based on Dex, is going to be at an 11. So what do you do when this character needs to roll something not in this skill list? Well, you just look over here at his ability mods and just roll that ability. You know, most of the time NPCs aren't even using their skills a lot, so you really don't need to go overboard with buying ranks in every single skill that this guy would be using. So the finishing touch here is we have to come up with a name. So he's been missing a hand, and he's only had one hand for pretty much all of his life. So we're going to call him, let's see here, we're going to call him Turin one hand. Aliases, we'll call him the one-handed swordsman. All right, so here we've got a one-handed sellsword. He's a bit gruff and rough, but friendly enough. He's, you know, dressed ruggedly in some well-used armor, and he has a well-worn longsword at his side. You can see the hilt of a dagger kind of sticking out of his boot, almost as if he's not really trying to conceal it. He keeps his right hand on the table, but you can see that his left hand is missing. It's completely gone. There's just a stump where his left hand used to be. He's fairly comfortable, but he does carry himself as a warrior, and his eyes seem very alert. He sort of greets you as you enter the bar, as if he's been expecting you, and bids you sit at his table. So we've got Tyr in one hand here, all rolled up, ready to go. Now, obviously, if you're going to be taking NPCs into combat and stuff like that, like I said, you're going to want to get into the nitty-gritty stats and abilities to make sure that you have everything you need. But for an NPC that your characters are just going to be speaking to and interacting with, this is plenty of information, and it's gonna give you enough to roleplay this guy without overwhelming you with a lot of stats that you're not going to be using. So yeah, I'm going to put the download link below for this template, and I hope you guys get some use out of it. Let me know if you'd like anything added to it, or feel that I'm missing anything on this sheet. I'd love to hear it. So I hope you get some use out of the template that I've created. The link to download it is below in the description. Let me know what you think, and be sure and send me any suggestions or questions that you might have. Thanks, everybody. Happy gaming all.